Hey YouTube, been a long time. We're going to try to get a few more videos out here more often. It's been a few years actually since we've put up any videos. Been kind of busy with work and health issues and what have you, but I think we're getting back on track now. Listen, today I'm going to do a product evaluation on a really nice product from Total Seal. Listen, building performance engines is all about details and is finding that little tiny advantage everywhere. Anywhere you look, we don't go looking for 500 horsepower here or there. We're looking for 1 horsepower here, a half a horsepower there, 2 horsepower there, reduce friction, just whatever. And ring end gap is a place that you can find that tiny little bit of power. Okay, we've all used these little hand ring grinders. They're adequate. With cast iron rings or ductile iron rings, they're not that bad to cut. But when you start using stainless steel rings, I mean, you're cranking that thing by hand a long time to get it done. So Total Seal has come out with what is the absolute best machine available for making not excellent ring gaps, perfect, dead nuts, perfectly horizontal, perfectly parallel, the exact size you want. It's just awesome. I can't believe I did without it for this long. It's about $850 from Total Seal. You can get them from Summit for less. Summit sells them pretty cheap. I think $750. But if you grind rings, you're building engines, you want this tool, period. So let's give you a little demonstration with it. Okay, here's the tool. You see we have a dial indicator here. So as we feed in our ring, we will see it move on the dial indicator. We got the feed knob here. Here is a lock. You set the ring up against here. You lock it down with this. We have this to hold the angle correctly. And I'll show you how I set these up. Because when you get file gap rings, you usually have a good bit that you have to take off. So what I'll show you exactly how I set it up in the grinder here and what works best for me. And this, as you'll see, makes the ends absolutely dead nuts perfect. Okay, what I like to do is I'll take the ring, stick it in here, and I try to make it as eyeball it up square there as much as possible. Now I'll lock it down. Now this I take over and just touch to the ring. Now just in case I exerted any pressure, I take the ring off and set it back in again, just like this. And you set it in, push up here, because with some rings, especially race rings, you can actually deform them. So you can make them kind of out or round, and you won't get consistent results. So just push it right up here, just gently. Okay, go ahead, lock this down. I already have my zero set, so I'm like 11 thousandths below zero. Now I'm just going to take this and turn this by hand. And I'm going to slowly crank in. Dial indicators just about to zero. Dial indicator actually went a little above. Here we go. And I just got a little bit of, just scratching it a little bit. Now what I'll do is I'll take a look. And we'll come here. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm looking to see if I got it nice and straight, if it's ground evenly across there. I haven't fed in hardly anything. And it looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back in again, close it. Let's see. Okay, before I didn't have it up against here because it's hitting before this. Here we go. It's hitting a thousandth before zero. So we'll just do this by hand again, just a little bit, just to make sure. It's real important that you go nice and slowly. All right, and I can see here that it's all together. You know, it's all hit all the way across. And now I will do this, and I can see those are lined up perfectly. I'm doing that for the camera. I typically will hold it up to a light and take a look at this gap when I squeeze these things together and make sure that I can't see any light through the gap anywhere. And I can't. I just held it up there. Great. So now I know that I'm ready to grind this ring. So what we're going to do is put it back in again, make sure it's up against here, clock it. Okay, take our lock off, and like I said, I'm just starting to touch just before 0. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fire this thing up, and you see my dial indicator there. I'm going to just do 2 thousandths. There we go. Shut this off. Pull this out. Now, on this back end here, they have a soft grinding wheel. And I've seen guys do this at speed. What I'll do is I will shut it off, and as it's winding down, as it's winding down, I'm watching what I was doing instead of where the camera's winding down. I'll just push it up against there, and let's see if we can see it. Put it up against here. All right, you see, I just have a very, very light line across there. I hit a little tiny bit harder on the outside corner. These things leave very little in the way of burr. As a matter of fact, typically there's hardly any burr here at all. Like I said, I just touch it on that wheel, and then you have to check it in the groove too, just to make sure it's okay. And again, here, if we do this, you can see that ring. Let me get it here. It's kind of hard. See, that ring butts up just absolutely perfectly. Like I said, this thing doesn't make excellent ring end gaps. It makes dead nuts perfect ring end gaps. I do, however, have 2 complaints about this machine, but they're very easily overcome. One complaint, there's probably only 40, 50 people in the country that will have that complaint, and that's that with a Pro Mod engine, you know, anything with a 5-inch bore or bigger, this doesn't adjust, but it's an easy fix for that. And the other thing is, it comes with a diamond dressing tool, but where do you put it? There, you look at this, there's no place to put a diamond dressing tool. Here's that little diamond dressing tool, which when you have to dress the wheel, it goes in right here like this, and you know, you dress normally, but there's no place to put it. So I got to have this thing hanging around. What do we do with it? Real simple. I took my 3D printer and I printed this. There we go. I will just drill a hole and screw this down so that this will always be there, and it's out of the way, and it'll hold that. So that takes care of that complaint. That's the one complaint that probably everybody will have, but easy to solve. Just take some kind of jar or something, glue it or screw it down there, whatever. Now, so far as being able to do 5-inch bore space rings, you know, 5-inch bore rings, I machined just this little part and put it there. Let's put it this way. If you're building Pro Mod motors, you don't need any help making this. You know how to do it just fine. But I made this because this would not you adjust this all the way out, and it's not. Look at this. Look at that ring. That's a Pro Mod ring. Now that's a damn ring there. Here is that's a Chrysler 2.2 liter ring, and there's the Pro Mod ring, just to give you a little idea of the size. So let me show you how I did that with this ring. Okay, once again, I'm going to do just like before. I'm going to try and eyeball this up, get it to where it should be, where I think it should be. Now then, I will take this, put that right there like that. Then again, just loosen this up just to make sure. And you can't really see on this, but some rings I can actually flatten it out along here if I press too hard. So I just want to put this up against the stop and let it slide down in there. Right. Take that off, back it out a little bit so I'm a few thousandths away. There we go. We just do that just by ear. And we'll take a nice little look. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but there we go. It looks like we're all the way across. And yeah, this ring, again, just absolutely perfect. Okay, something I should mention when you're doing this, if you see you're grinding on the outside of the ring, that means that you have this pushed out too far. If it's the inside of the ring that's being hit more than the outside, then you have this pushed in too far this way. But let's just go ahead, put this back down in there. Take a nice little cut here. Put that like that. Here we go. And I'm going to take off a bit here. That was 7 thousandths. Okay, and again, go here and look at that. I mean, that is just absolutely perfect. It just does not get any better than that. So when you're looking to find horsepower, you get you get every little detail. You get the ring ends nice. You get the rings that fit into the groove, properly. You get the rings that are deep enough that go far enough back into the groove. All these little things make a difference. We typically will measure the pull on our oil rings, and you can take the expander and you can kind of squeeze the ends of it a little bit and make less tension, or you expand the ends a little bit and make more tension if you need. It's just by experience, you got to know, what tension is going to work in what application. And most builders won't give up that information because it takes a lot of time to develop that. But generally speaking, if you're building a street car, you can lighten up on the ring tension. As a matter of fact, cars now from the OEM are coming with very low tension rings, but the bores are made right. They're straight, they're round, and they're the proper finish. Okay, you see a hone finish, it's always little scratches. Well, you measure the depths of the valleys, the height of the peaks, and the core roughness in between. And different rings want different kind of setting. And just saying that, I finish my bores with 220 stones, it's not enough. I'll get multiple finishes from a set of 220 stones. I can make it a very rough finish, or I can make it a very fine finish. It all depends upon the tension the pressure that I put on. It depends upon the hardness of the cast iron that I'm machining. All these things make a difference. So if you're getting a block done someplace, if you really want it right, you talk to the ring manufacturer, you find out what the RVK, those are the valleys, the RPK, those are the peaks, and the RK, that's the core roughness, or some people call it the plateau surface. You find out what those are supposed to be, and then when you talk to your machine shop, you ask them if they're able to do that, and 99% of them will not. They don't know anything about that. They just do their thing. But if you're building a serious performance engine, you need things done right. So you need to go to a place that knows how to do that. All right. Anyhow, that's this for this video. There'll be more videos coming. We're still working on that other Corvair engine. That's going to be going soon. We've run some simulations and done the math, and I decided I don't like the design of the pistons. So we're having Diamond make us some new pistons, you know, to our specifications for the fit of the rings, the wrist pin location, you know, the wrist pin width, you know, the cam of the piston, the whole thing. We're making some serious changes there. But anyhow, you can start looking forward to seeing more videos here, and I hope to be getting some more out real soon. We got a lot of things in the works. Okay, so thanks a lot. Stay tuned. I really appreciate all the subscribers. You know, and I apologize for not putting more videos out, but we're gonna make that change now. So you're gonna start seeing more videos. Okay, thank you very much. Be good and be safe.